Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Lunch Talk with the Carters. I am your hostess, Star Carter.
And I am your host, Michael Carter.
And we just come to tell you all that it is time to get the show started. What's up, guys? We are back on this wonderful Monday with all new Lunch Talk with the Carter. So how are you doing, my lovely husband?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, love. Wonderful, wonderful.
So if you have not already set your clocks back, you are already late.
It's a little too late for that.
Yeah, because it's noon. So if you ain't set your clocks back, you are already late, honey.
Yeah, late for work and everything.
You're late for everything.
Yes, sir.
So you got to fall back. That's my way of remembering when the time changed. You have to fall back and spring forward. So if you guys can't remember, you fall back and you spring forward. So that's my little way of remembering how to set your clocks when the time changes. So we are all up in the fall now. We up in November. It's fall time. It's starting getting dark about 5:30.
Yeah, it's what they call creep weather now. It's the creep season.
Yeah,
that's sickening to say, but that's what they call it.
See, we got to rebuke that devil.
I know, right?
Because on Lunch Talk, we're trying to keep our families together. So we got to rebuke that devil that is trying to separate families and that is trying to keep our families from moving forward from just relationships into marriages, because we're trying to promote marriage. So with that being said, and the promotion of marriage, my husband said that he has a topic that he want to bring up today. So the topic is, what's the point of marriage? So set it up, baby. What's the point of marriage?
Well, my thing is this. What made me want to think about it again? This is mostly for the ladies. You know, guys, we value your input as well. But on this particular topic right here, I think it's, majority, for the ladies. Okay. What is the point of marriage? Okay. By saying that, guys, I know it sounds kind of, harsh or whatever, but let me lay it out for you. Okay. Okay. The old saying, not offending anyone, but the old saying is, why buy the cow when you could get the milk for free? And that's the point I'm trying to make. Okay. You have your relationships, you can have one of the best relationships in the world. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can have one of the best relationships in the world. You can have a couple of kids. You can have a nice home. You can have the little white picket fence, a couple of 2-car garage, a couple of cars in there. You could be living the perfect life, and you are giving all the pros, no cons, but all the pros of being married. Okay. So I'm asking you ladies and guys too. Okay. If I'm getting all, the good stuff from a marriage, why do I need to get married? We got all of this going on. We're living the married life. We're doing all the married couple things. We have a wonderful child. We're doing great finances and everything is doing well. So we're playing house, but we're not actually making that commitment. So ladies, I'm asking you, if you're doing all this, you're taking care of your man, you're washing his clothes, not saying everybody, but just throwing it out there. You're washing his clothes, cooking his meals, and you having that little intimate time, when it's time, you're doing everything a wife should do. Okay. But you're not married, and the guys out there, I got to ask you, why get married? Why get married? If I'm getting all the pros, no cons, but all the good, the benefits of a marriage, why get married?
Okay. So you're asking me?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like as women, we feel like we have to position ourselves to be wives. I'm just going to take that stance right there, because I feel like we have to show that we are wife worthy. So that's for we do things to show a man that we are wife worthy, whether as we should feel like we're already worthy without showing wife worthiness.
Okay, I understand that. But if you're showing all this freely, what's the benefit of being married? Exactly. If you're doing this now, and if we get married, what's more perp should I get from the marriage? What else is there?
But like I was saying, I feel like women are more trying to do things to make themselves seem wife worthy for a man to want to make them their wife. So therefore we're going the extra mile. We're doing the things to make them want us, be like, okay, yeah, she cooks, she cleans, she's reared the children, she do all that. So yeah, I should make her my wife because she's the ideal candidate. But then a lot of times, like you said, men be like, well, if she's doing all that, she's doing it anyway.
Yeah. So why
she do it?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe we give too much too freely.
That's a great point.
I feel like we go way over and beyond to prove that we are wife worthy so that they can ask us to marry them. And so that we can make that wife role. Whereas if you're going into a relationship and you're both footed in the same ground and saying, okay, I'm into this relationship for the right reasons and you're in the relationship for the right reasons, then we're both going into the relationship as a equal, you know what I'm saying, as an equal, and not one has an agenda to get married and one is saying, okay, I might marry her, but I don't know. You know, you should be both equally yoked. That's how I feel like. I feel like if you're going into a relationship, you both should feel like, I want to be married at the end of this relationship. Not one saying, yeah, I want to be married. And the other one like, nah, I still want to play out there in the field. So it's kind of go back to what we were saying about you got to know your mate. You got to know what you're dealing with. Because a lot of women, you out there, you putting yourself out there, you're doing a whole lot of stuff for dudes that don't really want to get married at the end of the day.
Yeah, if that's their goal, to get married. Most,
So you got to have a dude that want to be like, well, I want you to do all these things and I want to do all these things too because I want to marry you at the end of the day. You know, I want to be married. Not a guy that's like, oh yeah, I want all the perks. I want all the things that come with being married. But no, I don't want the responsibility or the commitment of being married. So that comes with knowing who you with.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
You got to know who you with because a lot of people, they want all of those things, but they don't want to be married. That's a whole nother commitment. Yeah, they want you to be faithful. They want you to cook. They want you to take care of their kids. They want you to do all those things that you're supposed to do, but yet they don't want to be married.
So that's the whole point. Yeah. So I agree with you 100%. So guys, again, I'm getting all these wonderful perks. I'm getting everything, living the married life, but I'm not making that commitment. I'm not making that decision to say, okay, I want you and only you for the rest of my life. So, the question is out there. A lot of people think this, a lot of guys, most in general, I'm not trying to throw salt in any guy's game, cause that ain't what we do. We just bring, problems and issues to the forefront. That's what we do. But guys, it's mostly us, we could play that game 12, 13, 14 years. And somebody who's been dating for that long. Everybody knows somebody who's been dating that long. No sense of commitment whatsoever. We're just boyfriend and girlfriend. They living their happy-go-lucky life. So, why get married? I'm going to tell you my idea on why you should get married. It's for the spiritual commitment. That's what I think, because I know we all know about the saying, if you're living together, you're living in sin if you're not married. I'm not throwing it out there. I'm just making a point. Okay. Because, it's not up to me to determine if who's sinning or not, because I've been there. I've lived with people, that's past or whatever, but it's that spiritual commitment. You coming before God, family and friends and taking this woman or this man as your wife or husband. It's that spiritual commitment. You're committing yourself on a higher level than in a higher playing field than just saying, okay, let's play house. You see what I'm saying? You're committing yourself. You're committing your body, your mind, your soul. You're committing your whole self, your whole being to this person. It's not just games. We're not just faking the funk, so to speak. That's why I think you should get married. You don't want to go through life just saying, this is my girlfriend. Well, I don't anyway, because I'm a very, emotional guy. My babe can tell y'all, I'm very emotional. I love love. I love marriage. I love that commitment. Of course it's going to be trying times. It's going to be tough times, but making that spiritual commitment, guys, is like saying you're the one. You're my rib. I know it may sound corny to say that, guys, but you're my rib. You're that other half.
Okay. And I will agree with you, but I'm going to disagree with you at the same time. And I know y'all like, what? Star's going to disagree with him. I'm going to disagree because, like I said, I agree, but I also disagree because in order to be able to make that spiritual agreement with another person, you have to already have made that spiritual agreement with God yourself. You have to already have that in you with God yourself. You can't have that spiritual agreement with another person and not have that spiritual agreement already with God. You got to already have that in you, that God has already ordained and put that in you for you to manifest it on the outside to somebody else. So if you don't have that in you already, there's no way that you're going to be able to manifest it to somebody else to show them that, yeah, I want to marry you. I cherish you. I honor you in front of God, in front of family, in front of everybody else. Because if you don't already have that moral value and everything within yourself, then it's not going to work. That's a spiritual thing that you got to have already within yourself. And once you have it, I feel like once you have it within yourself, then yeah, it'll be more easier for you to date with that in mind. You will be more mindful in your dating because I'm already spiritual. I'm already got God in me. I'm already living the life that I feel like God wants me to live. So therefore, I'm going to keep that in mind in my dating. While I'm dating, I'm going to be dating with the mindfulness of knowing that I'm trying to find my wife instead of somebody that I'm just trying to sleep with or somebody that I'm just trying to get the perks of marriage and not actually the marriage. I'm going to have that in my mind because that's where I'm at already within myself. And I feel like a lot of ladies, because we are nurturers, we always feel like we got to be more and extra because we got to show these guys that we want them to be with us. We want to be wives. We want to be mothers. We want to be all this and that and other. So we go way more than what we probably should have to do in the beginning stages. But ladies, look, when you are trying to find a husband and when you are trying to find a mate, make sure that your soul is right too. You got to make sure that you're right with God, because once you are right too, then maybe it'll make it easier for you to find the right person and you won't have to work as hard. That's how I look at it. I mean, because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm self-righteous or whatnot. And I just feel like God favored on me that I was able to get Mike back into my life and vice versa. I feel like God favored on both of us because we had made so much of a mess of our own things that we were doing in our own minds, that we weren't doing the right things, that God just had mercy on us. So with that being said, when you are entwined, and I feel like you are in alignment with who you are trying to be and who you're trying to align yourself with God to be, then God will direct the path for you to find the right man that wants a wife and for a man to find the right woman that wants a husband. And that's just my personal opinion.
Okay, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, from Minister Carter.
Not Mr. Carter.
Minister. No, not Mr. Minister. Minister. Yeah, Minister Carter. No, that was good stuff. Good stuff. So guys, what's the point of marriage? Is what we're talking about today. What's the point of marriage? And, we just talked about, having, all the perks of a marriage, but not actually the commitment or having that bond. Okay. And let's take it another level. Okay, honey. I want to twist it around a little bit. Okay. So what about the ones? Okay. We talk a lot about relationships, scoring people in relationships. Okay. What about the people that takes a look at society? Because, nowadays it's like 50 to 60% of our marriages don't get past 5 years. Mm-hmm. So, with those statistics, a lot of people may look at it another way of saying, what's the point of marriage if they all end in divorce? What's the point? Let's stay boyfriend and girlfriend, no serious commitment or nothing, and just keep living these, I can't say single, but what can I say? Uncommitted? Because relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend are committed, but it's not married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just might be saying, what's the point of going to that level if 50 and 60% of marriages today within the last 20 years don't last 5?
And you know what? When I think about you saying that, I think about the richest black woman. She probably the richest woman in the world, Oprah Winfrey. When I think about you saying
pretty much Oprah, Black African American woman. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? She might be the richest woman, period. I don't know the actual numbers, but I would like to say she's the richest woman, period, not just Black woman. But she has not married Stedman, and her and Stedman has been together for like 30 years. And you have to think about it. Why has she not married somebody that has been committed to her for 30 years? And
money.
Yeah. In her case, I would think,
money. She ain't crazy. Money.
Yeah, I would think money too.
Half.
Yeah, I would think money too. That probably would be the main reason why. But I will also, my aunt, you know, God rest her soul, she died in 2006. Her and her first husband, they stayed married all the way up to the day she died, but they probably was not actually married and together for like maybe the first year or two, and they just never divorced. And so she was actually with the guy that I actually called my uncle for like over 20 years, and he begged her to marry him, wanted her to get a divorce, but she would not do it. She would not do it. And I never could understand that. And I know a lot of people that are in committed relationship. I mean, really, I know guys that are and girls that are in committed relationships for a long time. I mean, they have dated for decades and will not get married. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why. But the main thing, I worked with a girl before I left the credit union. I know a girl, they've been together like 10 years. And she told me personally, she said that, cause they was like, had a 6-year age gap. He was 6 years older than her. And she straight up and told me, she said, Star, I don't feel like it's broke, so I fix it. That's what she told me.
That's a proper way of thinking.
That's what she told me. She said, I feel like it's not broke, so I fix it. You know, they done bought a house together. They don't have any kids. They don't have any, they don't have kids. They have like 3 pit bulls. And they call them their children. And, she's like, Star, it's not broke. I don't see the reason to fix it. I don't see the reason to put that burden on him to make me his wife, because he's already showed me that he's committed to me, and she's good with that. So I guess it just all depends on the relationship and how good you are with it. Now, me, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't think, just me personally, even before I, going into the ministry and going to school for it, I just don't feel like it's just me because of my upbringing. I grew up in the Baptist church, even though I'm not studying Baptist. I grew up in the Baptist church, and that's not how we roll, So I feel like just in my own upbringing, that to me, that would not work for me. I feel like marriage was always on my radar, even since I was a little girl. That's just one of my dreams, was to always be married. So I guess it just all depends on your value of marriage, and if you really feel like that's something that you need to do. Because obviously the girl that I work with, that wasn't something that was on her radar. She was like, I'm good with where we are now. We already got the home. They don't have the kids, but they got 3 pit bulls. And they living the way they want to live. So, even me going into the ministry, even though that's against what, biblical principles about, not living in sin and da. And yes, I do, putting it in the right perspective, I do respect that. But at the same time, I'm not judging anybody that's not.
Yeah, because we all did it. We all been there. We all did it, live the so-called, sinful life. That's like I said, so-called, guys, so-called, because it's not up to us to labor that. But, that's what it's written, but that's what we go by. But what's the purpose of marriage? What's the purpose of marriage is, like, again, what we're talking about today, guys. As you could tell with me and my wife, we got different ideas about, how would, answer that? How would we answer that? But guys, we want to hear from you. Like I say, this is mostly for the ladies. Okay. But guys, we would love to, hear from you as well on this topic. Okay. What is the purpose of marriage? It's like my wife said, it's your idea or your ideas on marriage. Mm-hmm. It's your ideas. It's your beliefs. It's your upbringing. Some people can say, no, I'm not going to live with a man, but not until we're married. I'm not going to have the intimacy. Not until we're married. I'm not going to have kids. Not until we're married. We're not going to buy a house. Not until we're married. It's just your idea of what a marriage is supposed to be. With me, I just love the idea of being in love and with that special bond, because marriage is the ultimate. It's the le coup de grace. It's not dating. It's not my boyfriend and girlfriend. It's not my boo. I mean, they're all that in, the package, but I'm just saying it's not labeled as that. You're labeled as my queen, my wife. And that's something I cherish. And that's why, I would, do it all again with the marriage thing, because dating is just not deep enough for my queen. I want to make her that queen and my wife. So,
so let me tell you this though. I don't want you to think I'm laughing at what he said. I am a big fan of the show Married at First Sight.
Oh Lord. That's a crazy show.
So I got Mike had never really looked at the show Married at First Sight. So we've been looking at, Mike has joined in with me looking at the show Married at First Sight. And, cause at first he was looking at me with 90 Day Fiance, but I just switched it up. I've been looking at Married at First Sight since season 1, but I think it's now in season 6. But on Hulu, I'm catching up with season 5. And I kept telling him, like, these people don't know each other. They just got married. And he's like, and then the other day he actually paid it some attention. And he was like, when he saw the recap, and he was like, nice to meet you at the art. He's like, oh, for real? They really just met each other. I'm like, yeah, they just met each other. They don't know each other. They just met
it is
at
crazy.
the altar.
Guys, it is
but
crazy.
These are people that do not want to date. They want to be married. That's what these people are.
That's crazy,
That's
though.
what these people are.
Okay,
these people
but that's
are
still crazy.
Wanting deep connections. They are tired of dating. They have dated and they are over the dating scene. They want to be married. So they got these expert people, and I don't know if you guys have actually checked it out. I think it's on TLC, but I'll look at it on Hulu. But these guys have got experts that have actually went in and have did compatibility tests. They have done every test it is. I mean, sexual compatibility, relationship compatibility, family compatibility. I mean, every compatibility you think about, they done did it all, and they have paired them up with the most promising compatible mate that they should be with for life. And these 3 couples got married at first sight because they were tired of the dating scene and they wanted to be married. That's
beyond me. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. Just picture this, guys. You walking into the church, your family, their family. You're in your tux. You don't even know how your wife looked. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. You don't know how your husband looked. You don't know nothing. But guess what? When they walk into the church in their dress or tux, you're saying, my name is Michael. Nice to meet you. And you are, bam.
I'm Star. Nice to meet you too.
Okay. Now guess what? We're finna be married. Picture that.
Okay.
That's the craziest thing.
So with that being said, we're going to stop the show because this is going to continue on. What's the point of being married then? Let's come back on Friday and let's continue the show.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, because I told you
this
could go.
What's the point of being married? Yeah. So what's
forever.
The point of being married when we talking about the love at the Married at First Sight? Because if the end goal is to be married anyway, so let's talk about it. Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
The show. What's the point of being married? Part 2. We'll holler at y'all come Friday.
All right
then. So make sure you guys check us out on Radio Public, because when you check us out on Radio Public, you'll find us reporting Lunch Talk with the Carters, and we always appreciate it when y'all check us out on Radio Public. You can also check us out on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Look, I ain't even studied.
You got it that time.
And make sure, guys, that you are going to our Facebook and our Instagram page. If you go to our Instagram page, you can click on the direct link. They're going to take you to our Amazon page, and you can buy our What God Join Together Mark 10-9 t-shirt. If you hadn't seen our t-shirt, you can check us out on our Facebook page, and there's also a link on our Facebook page that can take you exactly to our store. It's the Together shirts. We are proud of those shirts, and we got a picture of us wearing them when we went to the Carolina and Baltimore Ravens game in Charlotte, North Carolina. So guys, make sure y'all check it out, and if y'all like it, please look, it's only $19.99. All the way up to like 3 or 4X. So you can get, I think at least 3X. You can get the t-shirt in male or female sizes. So it's not a unisex shirt. You pick female or male, and we're going to give you a shirt tailored to the female or male. So it's not like just a universal shirt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with part 2 of what's the point of getting married? Married at First Sight. What's up with that?
I know, right? All right, guys.
We'll be back on Friday. Thank you so much.
Peace.
All right, peace.